I love being married. It's so great to find that one special person you want to annoy for the rest of your life. Rita Rudner said that, and honestly, I've never felt a quote more deeply than I do now, especially after what happened with our smart home system last Tuesday. Benjamin Franklin also said we should keep our eyes half shut after marriage. Solid advice, except when your spouse is secretly reprogramming your smart home to wake you up at 3 a.m. with brewing coffee and blasting the morning news. This is the story of how our marriage turned into a technological battlefield and how we barely survived the most epic smart home disaster in history. Have you ever noticed how marriage starts with romance but quickly evolves into a battle over who forgot to replace the toilet paper? Yeah, that's just the beginning. Meet Tom and Sarah, the poster children for that opposites attract nonsense your aunt keeps posting on Facebook. Tom's the kind of guy who'd replace his own eyeballs with digital cameras if technology allowed it. His idea of paradise? A house where even the toilet knows his name. Sarah, on the other hand, believes the best technology peaked with the invention of the Post-it note. She'd rather turn a physical knob than ask some disembodied robot voice to dim the lights. Their bathroom situation perfectly illustrates what Michelle Obama was talking about when she said separate bathrooms are key to a successful marriage. You know, when she joked, "When he enters my bathroom sometimes I'm like, 'Why are you in here?' And he's like, 'I live here. Can I enjoy my bathroom too?'" Tom took this concept to another level by installing voice-activated faucets in their shared bathroom. The only problem? He accidentally calibrated them to respond exclusively to his voice, leaving Sarah waving her hands frantically under the sensor like she's performing some weird rain dance ritual. But the bathroom was just the beginning of their technological Cold War. The thermostat became ground zero for their first major standoff. Tom programmed that sucker to a precise 68 degrees because studies show it's optimal for sleep efficiency. Meanwhile, Sarah, who apparently runs at the temperature of a small sun, would secretly crank it down to Arctic levels whenever he left the room. When Tom confronted her about the mysterious temperature changes, Sarah would just shrug and say, "Must be a glitch in your precious system." The passive-aggressive thermostat tango had begun. The bathroom disputes escalated to guerrilla warfare tactics. Tom's electric toothbrush started mysteriously unplugging itself overnight. He'd stumble into the bathroom half asleep, press the button, and nothing. Dead. Just like his. Dreams of technological harmony. Sarah would innocently suggest, "Maybe you forgot to charge it?" with that little smile that said, "This is for the faucet situation, buddy." What most couples don't realize is how these tiny battles actually reveal deeper power struggles. They're not really fighting about toothbrushes or thermostats. They're fighting for control, for territory, for the simple human need to have things their way in a shared space. It's like two countries constantly redrawing borders on a bathroom-sized map. Sarah developed her own form of technological rebellion. When Tom installed a voice assistant in their bathroom, she discovered her secret weapon, deliberate mispronunciation. "Hey, Aliba, turn on Tom's shower," she'd say, knowing full well the device's name wasn't Aliba. Tom would step into the bathroom, confidently announce, "Alexa, start my morning routine," and be met with digital silence. After 3 tries, he'd hear Sarah laughing from the bedroom. The technological skirmishes extended beyond the bathroom. During breakfast, Tom would ask the kitchen assistant to read him the morning news, only to have it start playing Sarah's carefully curated playlist titled "Songs That Annoy Tom." When he tried to adjust the smart lighting to productive mode for his work-from-home setup, the lights would suddenly shift to Disco Inferno because Sarah had renamed all his presets. These small annoyances were just warning signs of the technological apocalypse brewing in their home, like those little tremors before a volcano erupts, or that weird smell from the fridge before you discover something that's evolved into a new life form. So why are separate bathrooms the secret to marriage according to Michelle Obama? because when technology enters the bathroom, it becomes a war zone where toothbrushes are hostages and voice commands are weapons. It's no longer about sharing space. It's about claiming digital territory one smart device at a time. Remember when the worst thing your house could do was have a leaky roof? Tom and Sarah's home was about to make that look like a dream scenario. The bathroom battles were just the opening act. What happens when your entire house starts making decisions for you? Tom's technological paradise was about to make their marriage look incredibly dumb. It all started when Tom came home with his arms full of boxes, eyes gleaming with the excitement of a kid on Christmas morning. "This is going to change our lives," he declared, unpacking a comprehensive smart home system. "Everything will be easier. The lights, the temperature, even the coffee maker, all controlled with just our voices." Sarah's skeptical expression went completely unnoticed as Tom spent the entire weekend installing devices in every corner of their home. The problems began almost immediately. During what was supposed to be a romantic anniversary dinner, Tom whispered, "Computer, set mood lighting," and suddenly, their dining room transformed into what can only be described as a 1970s disco inferno, complete with pulsing multicolored lights. Sarah couldn't help but laugh as Tom frantically shouted commands trying to fix it, each one making the situation more ridiculous. But that was just the beginning. Their new smart coffee maker developed what Sarah called insomnia, randomly deciding 3 a.m. was the perfect time to start brewing. The aroma that normally brought joy in the morning became a middle-of-the-night nightmare as they stumbled around in the dark trying to figure out which cord to pull. "It's just learning our patterns," Tom insisted, bleary-eyed at breakfast. "Give it time." Time, however, only made things worse. During Sarah's important client call, the robotic vacuum suddenly roared to life, circling her feet like a demented pet. As she tried to maintain her professional composure, the vacuum started bumping aggressively against her chair legs, forcing her to retreat to the bathroom, the one room Tom hadn't yet smartified. The grocery delivery system ordered 12 pineapples instead of the single one Sarah had requested. The garage door developed a habit of opening whenever the neighbor's teenager played certain frequencies of bass-heavy music. The smart fridge began sending them passive-aggressive notifications about their eating habits. Sarah's frustration reached a breaking point. Unable to figure out how to disable features through the labyrinthine apps Tom had installed, she resorted to the most effective method she could think of, systematically unplugging every smart device she could find. Tom would return home to find his technological paradise dismantled piece by piece. "You're sabotaging the system," he accused, frantically reconnecting cables. "It can't learn our preferences if you keep interrupting the machine learning algorithms." "I'm not sabotaging anything," Sarah shot back. "Your perfect system is driving me insane. I spent 20 minutes yesterday trying to turn on the kitchen lights." According to research, they weren't alone in their technological marital strife. Countless couples find themselves in similar arguments when smart technology enters the home, with one partner typically championing the innovation while the other resists the changes. The ultimate disaster struck during Tom's critical work presentation. As he prepared to share his screen with the executive team, he asked the home assistant to pull up his presentation files. What happened next would become legendary in both their marriage and Tom's workplace. Instead of his meticulously prepared slides, the system misunderstood his request and began blasting Sarah's embarrassing teenage heavy metal anthems at maximum volume. As Tom frantically scrambled to stop the music, his colleagues watched in stunned silence as the professional presentation devolved into what sounded like a mosh pit soundtrack. Sarah, working from the kitchen, couldn't help but laugh when she heard her guilty pleasure playlist echoing through the house. "I'm just saying, if we're going to live with all this technology, it should at least work properly," Sarah said later that evening as Tom nursed his wounded pride. "I don't understand why it's not working," Tom muttered, scrolling through troubleshooting guides. Maybe you're saying the command's wrong. Oh, so now it's my fault your robot house is rebelling against us? They had reached a breaking point. Their home, the place meant to be their sanctuary, had become a technological battleground. Every beep, notification, and automated feature had become another potential flashpoint in their relationship. What was supposed to make their lives easier had instead amplified every difference in their personalities and preferences. So after all that chaos, what did Tom and Sarah actually learn? Well, turns out, the smartest technology in their home wasn't the fancy gadgets. It was laughter. According to research, 88% of couples find that humor helps them navigate disagreements more effectively. And honestly, what's funnier than watching your partner have a full meltdown argument with an inanimate object that keeps calling them Dave instead of Tom? The real breakthrough came when they finally unplugged everything for a weekend. No smart speakers listening to their arguments, no lights flickering during their intimate moments, just two humans remembering why they got together before technology became the third wheel in their relationship. Maybe Benjamin Franklin had it right all along. Marriage requires keeping your eyes half shut sometimes. Not just to ignore your partner's annoying habits, but to find the comedy in your shared disasters. Because at the end of the day, those technological nightmares aren't ruining your marriage. They're becoming the stories you'll laugh about for decades to come.